Welcome back to the group chat. This is literally my favorite time of the week. There's nothing I love more than to sit and yap. I have to address the issue. If you're watching on video, you know I'm not a hack girl, but I'm really trying one because my hair was so nasty, literally so disgusting. And I used to be such a slick back girl. I'm not into slick backs like that anymore. I don't know why. Should have used the restroom before I went. You know, when you have to, sorry, TMI, when you have to pee and like your stomach gets like puffy. That's how I feel. But yeah, I'm really trying hats out. I have a blowout after this. I was supposed to have a workout at 3 and then a blowout at 4:30. But I rescheduled my workout to Friday before my flight, which we'll get there. But to give you guys a little bit of like a rundown of how my weekend was, because if you're new to the group chat, that's kind of how the episodes like go. I'll give like a rundown of my weekend and then get into whatever topic it is, which a few of you guys actually helped me with today. So thank you so much for the topic help. My weekend was so chill. I haven't had a really chill weekend in a long time. I wonder if like the framing and everything looks good, and I wonder if I should be sitting up more straight. Whatever. Where was I going with this? I lose my train of thought so easily. It's disgusting. My weekend. It was so chill. I haven't had a super chill weekend in a very long time. I've either been in LA or I've had a birthday or an event or this or that. I've always had something, and it was so nice because you guys know since my sisters have moved out, I have 3 rooms to myself, which has been my dream my entire life. And my old room has kind of just become like a trash can where I literally just like throw things that I don't wear or want or anymore in there, which is literally so terrible. 1, those clothes go to waste. 2, that room is going to waste because it's always closed from how messy it is. So I organized everything. I did a group chat giveaway actually. And then shipped those clothes off, did my returns. I feel so good going back to LA this weekend, but I will tell you guys that at the end of the episode. I have a few really good topics to talk about today. So a lot of the questions is always weight loss. Every time I put any sort of question box, it could be like, what's your favorite song? And I'll get like weight loss questions, which is understandable. I get it. Here's my issue with talking about weight loss. I don't have much to say. You know, like it's like I repeat myself a lot, and I think people like, and I was like this too. People want like a secret. People think I have some sort of secret potion, and sadly, I just don't. Like, unfortunately, I worked out and I ate healthy. Those were like my 2. That's what I did. I cut out sugar. I watch what I eat. I eat very, very, very clean, or as clean as I can. Like when I think about it and I'm like, damn, I'd like to lose like 10 pounds. I don't know how, other than just move a little bit more, maybe like get back on my walking pad. But I eat as clean as I can. I'm always like looking for ways I can better my health, things like that. So I'm not answering weight loss questions today. Then there was a lot of questions about friendships, and then there was a lot about like surrounding my culture and living at home and growing up with sisters and things like that. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. But somebody had the genius idea. This was literally so funny, and I'm so excited. You have no idea. This person will be the winner for the last box of clothing giveaway. Steph Jove. She said, prank call a guest on your podcast via phone call or in person. I am so excited. So I'm going to prank call my friend Mia. And I'm going to text her to start it off. She's going to kill me. So I'm going to prank call her. So there was this guy I had like a crazy crush on. This is the biggest crush I've ever had in my life. And it was at the beginning of this year. And I was obsessed. And all of my friends knew. My siblings knew. Like everyone was kind of involved in the crush. And I'm so over it. Like I literally say it sounds like I'm lying because it's like, how can you go from liking somebody so much to this? Like, He literally couldn't like beg me to be his girlfriend. There's absolutely not a chance. But I'm going to text her and I'm going to be like, bitch, because that's how we text. Call me. You're going to die. You're gonna die. A million E's. I'm literally so excited. Oh, her phone's on DND. She's probably in class. Okay, she'll call me at some point. All right, let's get straight into the topics. So, I think everyone wants to know what it's like living. Let me like read one specific one. Growing up in an Armenian household, Armenian traditions, family traditions. Okay. I could not be any more grateful to my parents. Like, the older I get, and I actually was really aware of this when I was younger too, because I grew up with Armenian friends. I could not be more grateful to my parents for the way they raised me. Like, if I could do, sometimes I'll be thinking and I'm like, oh, when I have kids, like, what am I going to do? Obviously, I'm not going to do everything the same way. There's like things you disagree on with your parents naturally. But I literally can't even think of what that would be. But so many things, I'm like, wow, I literally pray that I can be 1/16 of the parents that they were. They did everything so well that I feel like they're my best friends. We, as a family, we're more, like, we are one. That's how I describe our dynamic to people. Like, we are one person, especially my sisters and I. Like, we are very, very, very close with our parents, and we're very friendly with our parents, but they really like made sure to emphasize that, like, we are one. When we were fighting growing up, like when we would be in arguments and things like that, we would hide it in front of our dad, because if our dad found out we were arguing, he would get so mad. Obviously, he knows we argued or would argue, but he never wanted him to get involved, because we would always we would get in trouble. Because if it was over clothes or makeup or this and that, like, he'd be like, hello, you are one person. This doesn't matter. So to me, like, my sisters and my family go beyond family and best friends. Like me, I am Manana and Mensch. Mensch is Manana and Jess. Manan is Mensch and Jess. Like, we are literally one person. So that is that is 115% my parents doing. We didn't just like grow up that way. And we weren't just born that way. But we also weren't always like that. We're 3 sisters and we have big age gaps. So the problem with our age gaps is that mine and they're different. Like, the age gap between me and them is too far, and theirs is too close. They're very close in age. We are very far in age. It's not like a middle where it's like, okay, we have a little bit of arguing, a little bit of friendship. It was either, Mia's calling me. Okay. Hi.
What happened?
You are going to die.
What? Tell me.
Banana just came over. She's like, I don't know if you know, but
Yeah.
so
Like,
close.
yes. Yeah.
It's like, oh, like, how are girls and this and that, and like, what's going on? I've been wanting to talk to you about this since like for a few months now, and I don't know how to ask you. But like, I'm really into Jess, and like when I would really like Mia.
Wow.
I know, and he's like, obviously, and he's like, oh, you know, like, I'd love to take her out and things like that.
This is it.
You
just had to wait a little bit longer.
Just a little bit long. I literally levitated off of the floor.
My mouth is on the floor. Oh my god. Wait, I'm so happy. I'm like jumping for joy for you.
But you know, I told you it would literally, like, I could never date him. I won't date him.
Why?
Because, like, it's just not it.
He could be, though.
He could be. Like, do I give it a chance?
Could be. Yes, I think you have to give it a chance, Jess.
Like, isn't that crazy?
Jess, like, he used to make you, like, sick. And now... And now, see, they always come back.
They always come back.
Oh my god. Well, obviously I can believe it, so.
You believe it?
Yeah, of course.
Isn't that crazy? Like, a year later almost. And, like.
You were like your birthday. Like, you were like, by my birthday, we're gonna be dating. Remember last
Yeah.
birthday? So you just had to wait just a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer, so.
Perfect.
Isn't that insane?
I'm so happy for you. Holy shit. That is so funny.
I, like, actually don't have the heart to tell you that.
No.
No!
Are you kidding me?
It's for the podcast.
Are you kidding me? You are actually probably one of the most cuntiest people I've ever met. Oh my god.
I was actually happy myself, so. This made me realize maybe there is a chance. Wait, I can't hear you. Mia?
How do you know that
Hi.
would get me?
I just knew, and I knew it had to be you because.
Oh my god, wait, I was actually so happy for
No,
you.
same. I actually thought it was real for a second.
Like, I'm literally, I wish you could see where I'm at right now. Like, I'm in this dead center of, like, the most empty, like, courtyard ever. And I'm like,
Aww.
what?
You're so real.
And all these people are probably like, what is she talking about?
Like, jaw is on the floor.
Yeah, like, I'm literally standing here, like,
Well, it will happen one day,
Yeah.
so the next time I tell you that, just know that it's real.
I was like, holy shit, like, it literally just happened.
Like, that would be kind of
Yeah, I told
crazy.
you. Oh my god, wait, you really did a good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I had not a clue.
I'm so glad I
Ugh,
got you.
that's
But the next time that
so
will be true, and I
annoying.
actually won't go out with him,
I
so.
agree.
Yeah. Anyways, I love you. I'll call you after.
I love you more.
Okay, bye.
Perfect. Okay, love.
I knew I would get her. Damn, I thought she would be like, no, are you crazy? Okay. So I'm probably sweating like a fucking freak. So, back to growing up with siblings. Anyways, I'm so grateful. That was funny. I kind of just like went past that. That was really funny. Okay. And you know, okay. Backtrack. There was also dating questions. That'll be next week, but I will touch on this a little bit. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm feeling a little nasally. Every single guy that I liked when I was younger or when I was in my bigger girly days, every single one. I have never had a crush on a guy and not had them come back. And I think that's like a I don't know if that's a universal girl thing. I hear this a lot that like, well, it's like the law of a detachment, right? When you like are like, oh, I literally don't care. They like come back. I don't know if it's that or if it's just like, when you don't give guys attention, actually, take that back. There's a fine line. I have this friend. You guys, I'm so sorry. I have this friend. She treats guys terribly. And she's a playboy. Like, she's a playgirl. She is... Actually, I'm not going to get too much into it. But she's not in a relationship. And I've, like, literally told her about it. I'm like, you got to stop being a player. Like, it comes to a point where you got to stop being a player. And I think there's a fine line between, you know that book that's, like, Why Men Love Bitches? Men do love bitches. But I think there's a line where you got to know how to like play the game. Like talking to guys is literally like a game. And it's my favorite game because you can literally like, you could say whatever you want. Like this guy one time told me, we were in the car and I was singing. What was I singing? Like literally, I don't know what I was singing. I think Forever by Chris Brown. I'm screaming. I hate to admit it, but I'm a terrible singer. Like I'm not a good singer. And I was like, wait, but the volume was really loud. When he put the volume down, I'm like, wait, could you hear me singing? Like, that would be so embarrassing if you could. And I'm like, actually, I don't care. He goes, you're hot. You can do whatever you want. Guys don't care. Like, you could literally do whatever you want is literally the moral of the story is what I'm trying to say. You could do whatever you want. How did I get there? I was going to say something. Oh, men always come back. When you don't give guys attention, when you give them attention, they don't reciprocate it, and then you don't give them attention later, they are going to literally, like, die for you. But in the meantime, while you're not giving them attention, you got to get hotter. You got to get hotter in every way. Personality. Oh, my Skims shipment has been delivered. You got to get hotter in every way. Personality. Sign up for some Pilates classes. Make sure you're hopping on your walking pad. Don't be eating sugar. Just be like your best self. Work hard. Just like when you're thriving is literally when they want you the most. So, how did I get there again? You know I lose my train of thought. Oh my God, I literally have issues. Wow, I really do have issues. Why do I lose my train of thought so easy? Oh, they always come back. So even though I lied to her, he will come back. Like the thing is he has no idea that I had a crush on him. Like he literally has no idea that I was in love with him. And the more like time goes by, I realized that it actually had nothing to do with him, or maybe it had a little bit to do with him. He was hot. He had a few like traits that I really liked. But it was in a time in my life where I was really like, that was genuinely the worst time of my life. It started a year ago around this time. September, October, December and January were, December 2023, January of this year were literally the two worst months of my entire life. Like, it's seriously something like, when I think about it, I just want to like, I blocked it off. It was a terrible time in my life, and that's like when I really had a crush on him. And he has no idea. Like, the craziest part is that he literally has no idea. And that's the best part, because when he does fall in love with me, he's going to be like, wait, where have you been? And I'm going to be like, wait, I literally was in love with you. I'll never tell him that, but what's it's like growing up in an Armenian household, Armenian traditions. Back to being grateful to my parents. Two, also very, very grateful that I didn't grow up in LA. That is something that I can, like, really thank my parents for, because growing up in the Armenian community anywhere else versus growing up in the Armenian community in LA is so different. And I can see that, like, I'm not friends with anybody that is, like, super, sorry, guys, I have to turn this on. Sorry, Ned. None of my friends have, like, crazy strict parents, even in LA. Like, my two really close friends, Naira and Galia, their parents are normal. Something that I will take from my parents to teach my kids is my dad said this to me one time, and it stuck with me so well. He said, parents punish their kids for things that they haven't even gotten a chance to do. Like, they are punished and restricted and no before they even get a chance to make a mistake. My dad gave us my mom and my dad gave us a few ground rules, like basic rules. No drugs, don't be a hoe, get good grades, And just like simple things. Those were like 3 really big ones. And don't lie. Oh my God, my dad's number 1 rule is don't lie. Drugs, hoeing around, lying, grades, which leads to brain and success. Like, you have to be smart and have a successful life. I'll get to successful life in a second. I never lie to my parents. Not a hoe. I don't do drugs. And I get good grades. I am given freedom. Like, my sisters and I are given, they're old now, so they give themselves freedom. But they were given, and I am given freedom from my parents because I respect them. They respect me, and in turn, they respect me enough and trust me enough to give me freedom. And in turn, I respect them and do what they ask me to. I honestly was such a good kid in high school. I never went out. I literally hung out with my parents on the weekends and my sisters. I wasn't a loser. Like, it's not like I had no friends, I couldn't go out. I was actually friends with almost everybody. Like, I was friendly with everybody. I was just actually, me not going out came from insecurity because I was really out of shape and overweight. I was insecure, so I didn't step into that like area. So I didn't date in high school, things like that. But my senior year, I did go out my senior year a little bit. Armenian traditions. So, and the one thing I'm very grateful for is that, being given freedom. Another thing I'm grateful for, when I was younger, like when my parents would ask me like, oh, what do you want to be when you're older? My dad and my mom always made sure that they like instilled in us to choose something that we are genuinely passionate about. Obviously, they want us to be successful, but what I've learned from them is that you are the most successful doing something that you are genuinely passionate about. And like, you should never choose a job based off of how well it pays. That's what I will remember a lot when I was younger. Then the last few years, my dad has really been pushing this whole, I really advise you. My dad always says, you're old enough now to make your own decisions. I'm always going to give you advice. Your job is to listen. You can either listen and take it in and use it, or you can listen and be like, this isn't for me. I don't need it. And actually, something that I'm grateful my brain has enough like thing to do is I listen to almost every advice my parents give me, not on things like social media and this and that. Like, if my parents tell me something that you can only really know through experience of life, I listen to them because they've lived this life and like they've gone through so many things that I'm like, you know better than me. I would rather listen to you and not make that mistake than learn from my mistake in that scenario. There's things that like I've definitely learned from my mistakes, and actually been grateful that I made the mistake to learn. But I do listen to them really well. It's this last few years that my dad's like, you should pick a job that is more stable. And he says that again through experience. My dad's a real estate agent. And real estate is not stable. It's not like, okay, every week you're getting this paycheck, bi-weekly, yearly, this is your salary. Whereas something like a doctors are really medicine is the only stable job from what I'm thinking, like stable, really good income. No matter what, whether technology takes over and things like that, like we're going to need dentists in our lifetime. Dentists, doctors, this and that. Unfortunately, I wish that I was given the interest in medicine. I'm not going to grad school. That's just not happening. And then my mom's like, you should go to law school. I'm like, why would I go to law school? I don't want to be a lawyer. She's like, it's fine. Just go for your knowledge. sounds like a great idea. That actually sounds like a really good idea to continue school for your own knowledge and your own like, wow, this could, I mean, I'm sure it would really help me in life. I'm not that guy. I'm not a school person. I've hated school since literally kindergarten. Since kindergarten, I've been begging my mom not to go to school. I hate it. There is literally zero chance of me not finishing my degree. That's for sure. I will finish my degree, but that's it. Like, the reason why I think I've always been so confident in the fact that I won't continue school is because I am extremely confident in like in pursuing social media. There is no other option for me. This is the one and only option, because that's like when I ask people, oh, what do you want to be when you're graduated, or this and that, and they're like, I don't know. I have two different reactions. When somebody says, I don't know, I'm not sure, like, I feel a little like I understand them really well, because until I started social media, I felt like very lost in what I needed to do, because I've always felt like a calling to entertainment. I've talked about this so many times, and I can literally credit 99% of that to the Kardashians, because growing up watching them, they like have become, watching them has made me be like, this is what I want to be. I want to be like this. This is the life I want. So I've always known I want to be in entertainment, but it wasn't until I actually started to be in social media when I realized like, wow, this is like this is a job. I'm doing this and this is a job. It's really like bizarre and crazy. And the fact that it's just starting, I only really started to take this seriously in February. I started consistently posting in about like last November, but February is when like I had my very first viral video in February. And if you're listening and you're also in social media, if you want to pursue social media and have had a viral video, something about a viral video like gives you adrenaline. And the first one, like after the first 1, 2, 3, it's like, okay, it's like it literally doesn't matter. Numbers are just numbers. But after that, I'm like, wow, this is like kind of a bizarre feeling. And that's like what kind of was like, no, starting the day that video went viral, I was like, this is it. This is continuing. This is 100% all me right here. So, and then my other reaction is when somebody's like, oh, this is what I really want to do. I've been wanting to do this since I was little. I'm going to go to grad school for this, or I'm going to apply to this job, and like I'm very passionate about it. When I'm like, my response is always, do you know how like lucky you are that you have found something that you're passionate about? Because so many people, and sadly so many people in like a lot of cultures are either, I hear so many cultures including my own, where they're like, you have to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer. You have to be one of the three. You get to pick doctor, lawyer, engineer. Like, that is your options. And I'm very grateful that like that wasn't the three options I was given. Like, there's so much in this world. My dad always says this life is so good if you play your cards right. There's so much good, so much enjoyment and things in this life if you work hard and play your cards right. He's also really like, I used to be worried that I'm lazy. I had this phase about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, where I'm like, damn, I'm literally so lazy. I don't want to do anything. I literally don't want to do anything. I don't want to work. I don't want to do school. I don't want to do anything. And that is just, to me, that's just not a kind of mentality I would ever want to have. I really fought against that, because naturally, who really wants to work? You know what I mean? Like, who wants to like be like slaving away all day at their job? So it wasn't until like I'm definitely very grateful that my parents instilled work ethic in me. Although like they were doing that before I felt like I was lazy. Where am I going with this? Sometimes I don't know how to word things, you guys. Basically what I'm trying to say is like they've always been saying it, but it's as I like get more into my career and more older and things like that I'm like, no, I actually enjoy doing this all day. It's actually really enjoyable for me to work hard, because when you start to get rewards, this is the same thing with weight loss. When you work out, and you start to see a result, that only makes you want to work out more. That's why they say the hardest part is starting anything. The hardest part of anything is starting it, because you can't foresee the future. You don't know if there's going to be good results. But when you start something and you do it right and there are results, it only makes you want to continue. So I guess that is part of my Armenian household, is that I have the most incredible, amazing parents who like help us and like value us and our opinions. And something, when my brother-in-law's family, one of his cousins, came over for dinner, when my sister and my brother-in-law first started dating, him and his cousins came over, and like we were all talking. We had a family dinner with my parents, my siblings, everything. And he told my sister after dinner, he was like, I love the way your dad listens to you guys. And my mom is the same way. Like, I guess the more I think about things, the more I appreciate my parents, because there are so many families that like you're just a kid, like you don't matter, you're a kid, you don't know anything. My dad and my mom never ever treated us that way. Even when we were younger, anything we said, my dad would talk to us like we were adults. My mom the same way. When I say my dad or my mom, it's literally the same thing. They would talk to me, and I'm sure my sisters would say the same, like we are literally adults. They never treated us like we're dumb kids, never treated us like we don't know anything, or like you're just a kid, like you're so stupid. Never ever anything like that. And that is, I think, something that plays a lot into like who we are now. I know it's like a not even a joke, it's a secret. My age is a secret online, but when people that actually know my age always say like, wow, you are so mature for your age. And like, it feels weird like saying that yourself. Like you can't sit here and be like, yeah, you guys, I'm so mature for my age. But I will say, like, definitely a little mature for my age. And that definitely comes from having older sisters and parents that never treated me like I was just like a dumb kid. So I will say, although my parents are traditional, they want us to. My dad has been begging me to learn how to read and write in Armenian. And I actually think for his birthday, I'm going to learn the alphabet. Like, I'm going to start in December or January. I'm going to start learning how to read and write. And that's going to be his birthday gift. That is literally the best gift I could give him, because he's been begging me for years. But, you know, like, they want us to speak Armenian, hold Armenian traditions, this and that. But at the same time, like, give us the freedom to create and make our own lives, which from what I have seen is actually really, really rare in the Armenian community. I love my culture so much. I am in no way like shitting on them. And anybody that raises their children differently, I always say, like, how you raise your kids, like, that's your business. I've had friends, Armenian friends, that their parents literally wouldn't let them out of the house for like the entire weekend. Like, if they were the type that was like, if you had fun today, you can't have fun tomorrow. If you had fun this weekend, you can't have fun next weekend. My parents were never like that. Yes, there's boundaries, there's limits, but what? I had fun today, I can't have fun tomorrow? Like, what are you talking about? I just think, I don't know. I think a few parents could take a few pages out of my parents' book. No, I'm just joking, but that's how. Work ethic you've learned from your parents and sisters. I kind of talked about that. Growing up in a cultural house, breaking culture norms. I will say my middle sister Manana. She's Manon. I'm not gonna say Manana. Manon probably is like the most breaking of culture norms in our family. Moved out before getting married. Has a boyfriend from a different culture. He's Colombian and things like that. I will say she was allowed to do that because of the freedom my parents gave us and her. But she was definitely the one to like really make that step, and good for her. Good for her that she's able to do things like that. There is no, this is right and that is wrong. You're this type of person for doing this, you're that type of person for doing that. No, there's not. Because who says that, let's say I don't get married until I'm 35. Should I live with my parents until I'm 35? Is it wrong to do that? I don't know. Is it right to do that? I don't know. Like, just because you shouldn't, it's like wrong to move out before you're married, you should live with your parents for half of your life. No, you should grow up, start your life. Getting married isn't like the stepping stone of starting your life. You get what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion on it. Favorite things about growing up with sisters? So many. Stealing their makeup, stealing their clothes. I always knew what was what was in trend, what was poppin'. I always had the okay, I don't want to I need to word this correctly. My friends often would look at me and what I was wearing and where I was buying it from and what movies I was watching and things like that, because like it seemed cool, but the only reason why I knew the cool things is because I grew up with older sisters. Like I knew all about clubs and bars and going out. I knew girls shouldn't pay for drinks. I knew girls get free tables at clubs and things like that since I was literally like 12 years old. How do you balance having your own time and space while living with your parents? So I think like timing just worked out really perfectly in the sense of I started to pursue social media in kind of the same time that my sister moved out. My oldest sister moved out 2 summers ago. Mensch moved out 2 summers ago. My Nana moved out last summer. So last summer is when I really, really started to take it serious. Is when I started. And then, like I said, February is when I really started to take it seriously. But last summer is when I started to like introduce posting a lot of stories and things like that. And because like during that time she moved out, I'm like the only kid left at home. My parents are at work during the day. At night we're all together. Like my parents are never like you have to eat dinner with us, you have to do this and that. Like some of the times I do eat dinner with them, but we're kind of all on our own schedule. So I have my space anytime I want. I'm with them anytime I want. Like, so that part is really no problem. Something that I am having a little bit of trouble with as far as balancing time is, like I said, you only get as far as you do in this. Like in this industry, in any industry, you only will get as far as you, like how hard you work. The harder you work, the further you're going to get. And like, I always want to be doing it. Like I literally will, from the second I wake up to the second my phone goes down so I can sleep, I'm working. So that is like a little bit of a balance and boundary that I need to set, because it's starting to get a little bit exhausting in the sense of like my eyes and like behind my eyes is starting to hurt, not just from physically looking at technology, but like my brain is always to that. And I feel like I'm not in like the real world. I feel like I'm always like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to quickly do that. So I need to set some boundaries. I've decided at 9 o'clock, 9 or 10, my phone is going away. I sleep around 11 to 12. So I think an hour or 2 hours before bed is good. I'm going to start like that. And then I'm sure slowly, like I'll set more and more boundaries. maybe not be on my phone until a certain time in the morning. But for now, I think putting my phone away at 9 or 10 is going to be really good for me. Just because like I need my mind to be somewhere that's not social media. It's not like I'm sitting there thinking like, ugh, like how do I respond to this person or this or that. I'm thinking like, oh, what kind of video can I make? What thing can I do? How can I do this? How can I do that? So I need to like have a little bit of unwinding time and a little bit of balance in my life. So yeah. Wow, this I feel like was a really good episode. How long was this? So my upcoming weekend. Oh, you guys. I need to like send her I need to like call and give my credit card info, but today I am booking my surgery. I am so excited. I'm literally so excited. I talked about this on my story a little bit yesterday, but I always say I can't imagine a time where like I'm honestly not a emotional person. I'm emotional in the sense of like I'm dramatic. Dramatic is really like my one big emotion. I don't cry very easily. Things don't really make me cry. My issue is that there's certain topics that are super sensitive to me, and the second it's brought up, I'll start crying, like the millisecond. Other than that, I'll cry if I get really, 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 really angry. But like, I never cry from like my feelings getting hurt or like things like that. And I've also never been able to imagine myself crying tears of joy. I have thought about my engagement. I've thought about my wedding. I'm like, obviously I'll be so happy, but I can't imagine myself crying tears of joy. I really just can't. And I think that comes from the fact that I've never been in love. Like, because I've never been in love, I can't imagine how like amazing that would feel. I don't know. But I think even when I'm in love, like, I don't know. But yesterday I cried at my sister's wedding. Sorry, my freaking computer. I also didn't think I would cry at my sister's wedding. And I did, but I don't think that was like tears of joy. Obviously it was happy tears, but it wasn't like, wow, I'm so happy, like I'm crying. It was more of like a damn, you're getting married. Like my sister's getting married, and it's also a part of being so happy for her. And also like, damn, like you're moving out. One of the hardest times I've cried is when we landed back from Mexico, because her wedding was in Mexico. We landed, she grabbed her last few things and she left, and I literally was like on the floor sobbing. But back to what I was saying. Yesterday I'm on the phone with like the consultation girl at Dr. Raban's office. She's like, okay, so you're gonna get this and that. This will be your surgery day. This is your pre-op day. And I literally was like getting choked up. I wanted to cry. And then later I told that exact story to my sister and my mom at dinner yesterday, and I started crying. I can't tell. Like, I wish I could be able to express how like exciting this is for me and how excited I am. Like, I cannot explain to you guys like what this feels like. It's just imagine every single day for 3 years you look in the mirror and you see like, how can I compare this to something? Imagine every day you wake up, your entire face is painted red. You look like a clown, and you have like a clown nose. I don't know if that's a good explanation. I don't know how to describe this, you guys. Imagine every day you wake up and you see a really certain something. Every time you take photos, you're like, damn, like every time you get dressed, every time you buy something, every time you buy clothes and things like that, you're like, oh, well, I got to be careful because my boobs this, my stretch marks this, my stomach that. Every time you're in a bikini, you're like, oh my God, my skin. And it's actually not necessarily insecurity. It's not like I'm insecure. When I had posted like a question box about I have to leave the house soon. When I posted a question box about questions for my surgery, somebody was like, how like did you like how how is this going to change your confidence? And I actually don't think this is going to change my confidence at all. It is something I'm insecure about, my loose skin and my stretch marks, but I wouldn't say it necessarily like affects my confidence anymore. That took years and years and years of like work on my confidence. I remember thinking 2023. I'm thinking like, oh, what are my goals for this year? 2022 is the year I lost the most weight. It was my sister's wedding. I went crazy hard, lost a lot of weight. That is like the most I've lost in a short amount of time. 2022, I worked really hard on my body. Then 2023 came, and I'm like, you know what? I've worked really hard on my body. It's time for me to work on my brain. I can't second guess, and like I can't constantly let this take over my brain, the like weight loss and the way I look and things like that. So this camera is actually annoying as hell. Okay. It took years of like a lot of hard work every single day, like every day gradually I worked on it. So this isn't going to be something that makes me like an insanely confident person. I'm going to start posting like I still post bikini photos. I still feel great in a bikini because I work really hard on my like figure and my body, and I'm very healthy. This is my biggest advice. When you are more concerned about being healthy rather than being skinny is when you're actually going to lose the most weight. That's what I tell people. Like when they ask me for advice, I'm like, you're going to lose weight when you are less concerned about like the size of your stomach rather than what is it inside of my stomach. Like what does the inside of my stomach look like when I eat a cheeseburger or when I eat like drink a milkshake? You know what I mean? To me, it's scarier to be unhealthy than it is to be overweight. Obviously, I don't want to be overweight. I work very hard to be fit, but it's scarier like what's on the inside to me. So the reason why this surgery is so exciting is because it's something that's like on me, and I'm like, I want to get rid of it. It's like an anticipation, and like I just want to like take it off. It's like a very bittersweet feeling when you see loose skin and stretch marks, because it's like, oh, like I work so hard and I'm so careful, and that's really the best way to put it. I work so hard and I have to still have like this on me. I just want a regular fit, sleek body. So it's more of like an anticipation and like an excitement of like, I'm just going to have a sleek body and I'm just going to look fit, instead of, oh, like she lost a lot of weight. I don't like, you know what I mean? So this isn't necessarily like a confidence thing. Like it's nothing. I say this in no shame towards anybody that does like liposuction or anything. Like my mom had liposuction, so I completely understand and understand why people do it. But this isn't like the same thing as getting liposuction, because that is like when you, after you get like something like a BBL or lipo, you're like, oh, the way I look, my figure is gonna look so different. I'm gonna be so confident. I'm gonna be able to wear this dress and that dress. For me, it's more of like a, damn, like it's gone. I can live my life being like a young fit girl, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But I'm rambling, and I'm going to be late to my hair appointment because I need to pick up coffee for us first. On Friday, I'm going to LA. So excited. I'm hanging out with my friend on Friday, then dinner with another friend. Saturday, I have an event. And then it was my friend Naira's birthday yesterday. So we're going to go celebrate Saturday night. I'm so excited. Sunday, I have one of my favorite peoples in the world's baby shower. And then Sunday night, I come back home. So many good times. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love you all. Have a beautiful and blessed weekend.